welcome to San Juan, Puerto Rico, the host for the 2021 FIBA Women's AmeriCup. It's day number 5 of group play, the final day of pool play, and all the action going down here inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Natalia calls this place the Cathedral of Basketball. And today's action begins with 2 teams clawing to continue onto the quarterfinals, Virgin Islands and El Salvador, both teams needing a win today to advance. Welcome inside. I'm Despina Barton, joined by my partner in crime, Natalia Melendez. Natalia, this is how Group A looks heading here into game number 5. Brazil, they're done with action. They will hold on potentially to the 2nd seed, as their lone loss was Canada. So they will actually bump down as those quarterfinal rankings begin. And Natalia, for you, seeing what we've seen for the Virgin Islands and El Salvador, this game is going to be highly contested.
It will be highly contested. Both team knows that they need this win in order to move on to the quarterfinals. These 2 teams play against each other. Last Centro Basket and Virgin Island beat them, but these are different circumstances, different players. They have one or other added in each team. Very different teams. In the case of Virgin Island, it's a team that goes with their post players more. They like to play inside their game, close to the basket. In the case of El Salvador, they enjoy their fast break. Their guards are their main weapon in the offense. But something both teams will have today is a lot of energy, a lot of hustle. It's today or never.
Virgin Islands faced off against Brazil yesterday. It was a pretty good game. They ended up dropping it by 21 points, but it was Coach Gongba here that liked the way her team stayed in the contest, but wants them to play more together today, have more energy. For El Salvador, they are here because, yes, they earned the last spot in the qualifier in the Central Basket Tournament. They were the hosts. This is a young team making their first ever appearance to the AmeriCup. They've been fun to watch. They've got grit. They've got fight. And they will be dealing with a little bit of an injury here. Number 24, Emily Tevez, had a hard fall yesterday, so she has a game-time decision. No tears, but just some heavy bruising on her knee.
And she's limping, and these are bad news for them, because this is the go-to girl player in their offense.
And we'll get set here to stand for the national anthems and flag recognition. We'll start with the visiting team in the Virgin Islands, followed by El Salvador.
Virgin Islands. Please remain standing for the national anthem from El Salvador.
such an emotional moment, especially for this El Salvador team making it to this stage. They just want to represent their country the best they can.
Yes, and there we were watching Maria Mendez, the number 77. Every time the national anthem plays, she gets emotional. You can see her, she closes her eyes and she's really, she sings the national anthem, and it's emotional for her, and that happens a lot. Some people cannot even concentrate during the national anthem. They're just focused on the game and stuff, but every time I've seen her during this tournament, during the national anthem, she's always doing exactly the same.
Big stage, big moment. And for the Virgin Islands, they're going to stay the course here with their starting five, Natalia.
Bolina Williams, Imani Tate, Lanis Buck, Natalie Days, and Anisha George. Mary Jones Francis, Matthew Gongba, Costa Richardson, Coach Gongba. Yes, Coach have a daughter in this team.
And that is Coach Taj Gongba, the former U.S. Virgin Islands senior national team member. Spent a few years in the WNBA. College career at George Washington. Still holds the record for points in a season at George Washington. And she was just added to the staff at Georgetown. So very acclaimed there. As for El Salvador, they have a shakeup in their roster. We were going to see Vasquez, no Sylvia Vega, but Tevez on the floor to get things started.
Good news. Lilian Alvarado, Aida Funese, Kimberly Villalobos, Emily Tevez, Maria Mendez at the bench, Palucha, Gamero Ramos, Vega Murcia, and Coach Santana.
Like we talked about, this is the first AmeriCup appearance for Jose Santana and his crew. Coach Santana was the previous coach of the Mexican women's national team. He's inherited a very young group of newcomers, but one of the hardest working teams that we've seen come through the AmeriCup. And you can't help but root for them as they've been the underdogs.
Definitely. We saw how hard they worked during the Centro Basket to be able to found and to get that spot here in their AmeriCup. It's always really nice when you have the opportunity to be in the tournament where the best teams from the continent are playing. And this is just the beginning of many, many good things that is coming their way. And remember, the games, the Centro Americanos Games 2022 are going to be held in El Salvador. And I think this is just the perfect beginning for them to keep working, and to get to that podium on those games.
For El Salvador and the Virgin Islands, both teams have not found a victory since competition here in the AmeriCup. They are in Group A as the best 10 teams in the Americas and the Caribbean nations are congregating here in Puerto Rico. What's on the line, Natalia? Yeah, a qualifying bid to potentially the 2022 FIBA World Cup in Australia.
Everybody wants to be in the World Cup. But for that, you have to go to the pre-qualifying tournament first and get that spot. It's not easy. It's a process. It's a process, but everybody's really, really trying really hard to get those wins and be able to go.
El Salvador, Natalia, has boasted they've had a little bit more time here to prepare the second go-around against the Virgin Islands. And for Coach Gongba, she's asking her team to just stay together, play together with energy, and play freely. This is one of those fun teams that gets up and down. You can tell that they have the chemistry on the floor, and she's asking them just to be themselves.
This is not going to be a half-court game. That I can tell from the beginning. This is going to be a very fast-paced game. Both teams push the ball down the floor. They like to have what I call the fun basket. The layups, the fast break game. So we'll see a fast game here, but Virgin Islands will probably try to go to their post more often than El Salvador.
Williams lines up in the circle with Villalobos for El Salvador. Villalobos is the captain of this squad, and the Virgin Islands will get the first possession. Williams feeds down low. We saw this early yesterday. Jump ball.
We'll see a lot of Williams and George. the high-low game they will try to establish early on. You know, we know how strong and effective George has been in the paint.
You said it was going to be an up and down game, but we've already seen, too, the physicality that is in store. Villalobos finds her own lane. Off. Rebound by Funes. Fadeaway will drop.
This team plays bigger than they are. They all follow their shots.
And a nice buck to start things off. It's George that evens it back up. George, the 23-year-old who led the Virgin Islands and Centro Basket Tournament in scoring and rebounds, made the All-Star 5 as well. And a foul in the paint.
It was Alvarado's. That's her first.
You can hear Coach Gongba asking her team to push. You got to push. Off the hands of Day. It's a turnover. Mendez brings the ball up for El Salvador. That is the guard you were talking about, Natalia, with the national anthem and how emotional this moment is for her and this team. They've come so far, and they're just putting together their building blocks for the future. Williams turns, takes it. Good for two.
The big players, Williams and George, they both put the ball on the floor so they can play fronting the basket, and we will see more.
Tevez, this is the one that was a little banged up after yesterday's match up against Brazil. She saw a lot of physical therapy yesterday. No tears, just a bruise, which is great news for El Salvador.
So for Virgin Island, entering number 8, Brittany Matthew.
Brittany's in, and George is out of the game.
Tate on the cut, splits two defenders, the lane with the reverse.
Tate, 27 years old, she's been averaging 16 points in this tournament.
Villalobos, the only scorer for El Salvador, averaging double digits. And an early foul for her.
There's the replay.
First personal foul number
Very
8,
athletic.
Brittany
She can finish
Matthew.
between those two players. She split.
Tevez in the corner, good. What a way to come out firing.
It was a good screen for Villalobos, and all she needs is a little bit of space.
Left open was Williams. I mean, Tevez is not looking like she exited the game early yesterday.
She's limping a little bit, but she knows the importance of these games, and those are injuries that you learn how to play with, especially in games like this, because she was probably, able to go back to the game yesterday, but the coach, if I would be her coach, I would say, okay, we are not going to win this game, so I need to rest you for tomorrow. So all of these players are used to playing with pain.
In fact, they wanted to be extra sure that she was okay. They took her to a nearby hospital and had x-rays done to ensure there was no tear. And then spent the rest of the afternoon just really working on stretching and with the physical therapy team and icing.
That's the importance of having a whole entire group of professionals around the teams besides the coach and the assistant coach. And that's one of the differences that we've seen throughout the years. Years ago, it would be unthinkable to have a medical staff in your team. Never happened. You just use the one from the tournament.
Wild has as the time has changed, and now I feel like it's one of the most important right underneath
Yes.
the head coach. A travel, a misstep for Tate.
It's Virgin Islands and third turnover.
22.
Many subs there.
0. Kadasha Curry and number 13, Nadia Gomba.
The Virgin Islands had not held a lead in this tournament until today's game. They have a 1-point advantage over El Salvador. What a move. That one not good though for Tobias. Barry takes it on the block. It's good for 2. Barry, the 25-year-old.
It was a good skip pass there.
Blocked away. Barry stays with it. Villalobos, her shot off.
There was a little bit of lack of concentration there. She didn't have to do that. Four seconds to shoot.
Cuatro para tirar. 4 segundos.
Nice position on the block. Funes with that cut. We're going the other way with Barry. Gongba. Breezing right past her defender, Emily Tevez.
The importance of filling those lanes and making those easy baskets. She had 5.
Gongba, high-low deflected. Will stay here. Last touch by Mendez.
Stop for Virgin Islands, entering number 4, Molina Williams, 11.
Look at that outlet.
8,
That is in
Brittany
transition.
Matthew, and number 5, Taylor Jones.
Shot clock at 3. Lefty Day gets it up. It's out. Williams will track down the rebound. Natalie Day just gave birth 4.5 months ago. She's here, her baby's here, and that shot is not here. Day on the floor.
Yes, and how do you call it when you can breathe?
The wind knocked out of you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it happened. She got hit on her stomach. Let's see. See?
Yep, right on the chest there.
Mm-hmm.
Tevez brings the ball up. Mendez draws the trigger. It's off. Fighting in the paint and tied up was Vasquez.
And Natalie said, not anymore. I'm not going to get hit anymore.
Second, personal foul number 7, Liliana Alvarado.
Williams takes it left, little jolt to the right, Bounces out. And 2 quick fouls picked up by Gabriela Vasquez, the enforcer.
It's not easy to bump against her. She's very strong.
Jones. Tipped away, shot clock getting ready to expire, and Day draws the foul and one. The new with a 3-point play opportunity.
And she's been trying so hard to make that first basket working on the post. And when we were talking about how physical FIBA basketball was, I think this last possession it's the exact description of it. Natalie Day, she's averaging 10.6 rebounds, 2 assists. She's 37% from the field goal and 37% from the 3-point line. There she is again.
Natalia, she missed the free throw so she could get the extra point. She knew that
on purpose.
Exactly what was going to happen.
Another rebound for Natalie Day.
Coach Galumba couldn't talk enough about Natalie Day's commitment, not only to her family and to her husband, but this national team, balancing 2-a-days, getting back in shape. Speak to how difficult that is to, after give birth, come here and play at this level.
The body, you know, athletes' body usually have memory, but still it's very hard. The time lapse, it's really short, 4 months.
Look at the battle here happening at every angle on the court. Virgin Islands with a 5-point lead with 2:44 to play in the first quarter. Mendez takes a well-needed break. Point guard for El Salvador. So Villalobos will pick it up. Villalobos has led the way for El Salvador, notching 19 rebounds, averaging 13.7 points. And nearly 33 minutes she's spending on the court every game.
1-2 zone.
Tate pushes. Hadisha Berry. Counted as a, could have been counted as an assist. George keeps working down there.
Villalobos and George, what a great matchup so far. They are neutralizing each other. We haven't seen much of each other. Good hands.
That was
hands were up.
Big block, Villalobos. Tevez from the corner. She got it.
What a great shooter she is.
Tevez with 8 of El Salvador's 10 points so far. Welcome to the party. That was Akima Richards, a 30-year-old for the Virgin Islands.
She's 30 and this is her debut with this.
I know we haven't seen Alexis Boston yet, but a fun little story. She's here, and her younger sister is playing for Team USA, Aaliyah. What a basket there by George. Extends the lead for the Virgin Islands up to 6.
Yeah, Richards knows the game very well. The angle of that pass was perfect because sometimes the post player it's posting really well and he's expecting the ball, but you have to have the right angle to give that pass to the player. And Richard, it's really good at that. She can read the game.
George with 5 points today. She leads her team in this tournament, averaging 14 points a game and 7 rebounds. And the block. George is just so versatile, and for her size, standing at 6'2", and her strength. I don't know if, you know, there's somebody that can bang with her this whole game, Natalia.
The whole game, it's difficult. You can control her and work with her for a while, but 40 minutes, it's not easy.
And wait for Funes. The speed on display here for El Salvador.
Funes averaging 8 points and 3 rebounds, 2 assists per game, 25% from the field goal, 50% from the three-point line, and she's perfect from the free throw line. And yes, I said it, she's perfect. She's gonna continue being perfect, hopefully, after I said it.
What did they say, Natalia? Speak it into existence.
There she is.
I like that. Our coach, Jose Santana. They close the gap. Now trail by 4, but this stays with the Virgin Islands. Final 31 seconds for the first quarter. These two teams battling it out. Winner gets to stay, loser goes home.
And you know what? One of these two teams are going to get eliminated. And after today's game, the teams that get eliminated can have a chance, or they will have a choice to get vaccinated before going home.
And that's really exciting. I think we forget about all the COVID protocols and safety measures that are put in place to make this a safe environment. But also, I'm from the United States. You're from Puerto Rico. Those are things that we are very fortunate to have access to.
That's true.
But some of these teams coming here don't have that opportunity.
Yes. And, you know, it's a good thing that the people that organize this whole thing, you know, were thinking about everybody's health, and I think that's a great thing. You know, it's very personal if they decided to do it or not, but at least they have the chance.
Richards hits that first free throw. Kima Richards in her international debut for this U.S. Virgin Islands squad. And now her team is back out to a 6-point lead. Villalobos takes it straight to the lane and one. We can't say enough about Kimberly Villalobos. The 19-year-old was key in securing this AmeriCup berth, the captain of this squad. She plays for San Diego State, and Natalia, she's the first Salvadorian to make it to the NCAA, the Division I.
She's will be in the history books. A lot of players.
Nearly back four. Nowhere to go, and that is the whistle. End of the first 10 minutes. Virgin Islands leads 19-16. No true separation, Natalia, between these two teams. And we knew it would be a gritty fight, considering all that's on the line.
Yeah, one of the biggest difference that we've seen in this game, you're going to see it there in a few seconds. The next graphic, it's the rebounds. There's a big difference there. In Virgin Island, it's dominating. They have 22. El Salvador only 6.
That was a nice putback by the young lady, Aida Funes. And then banging in the paint with George. She only knows one way, and that's to be physical. And from your perspective, Natalia, this Virgin Islands team, they're playing pretty freely, or
they're playing. So? We've been saying throughout the whole tournament that they play bigger than they are. They know that in order to compete, they got to be very physical. But it's in their nature too. It's in their nature. That's how they play. They have 22 rebounds, and when we go to the point in the paint, for the 19 points that they have, 16 are close to the basket, and that's something we knew was going to happen. They have big post players that can dominate there, and see how they're constantly stressing to make offense close, and that's to their advantage. They like to run. They like to use that fast break. But if they can have it, they do have the big players to be able to play at half court against this El Salvadoran team. Because if you ask me, you know, can Virgin Islands establish this type of game with Canada and USA? The answer will be no. You know, they can try, but the answer will be no. They will have to run. But, you know, everything is about matchup at the end of the day. And since they are facing this El Salvador team, that's one of their strengths. They are a little bit better on those positions, more dominant. So that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, normally the Virgin Islands is the undersized, the scrappy guys, often overlooked. They embrace that underdog role. In this scenario, for the first time in this tournament, that's not quite the case.
When they in this AmeriCup, because if you go to the Central Basket Tournament and you ask me what is the description of this team, I'll tell you strong and tall.
But not here in the AmeriCup. Not when you got 3 teams going off to the Olympics. Team USA, the Puerto Rico team, obviously the host here, and Team Canada. Those 3 teams have looked extremely well so far, and we'll see more from them as the week goes on.
Good pass.
You hear Coach Gongba asking her team to find the shooter. She's calling this defense. As Day moves out in transition, drags that final fit, it goes down.
Natalie is focused today.
First, return of number 14, Aida Funes.
And Jorge, the referee, is telling Natalie that look that she gave Villalobos wasn't necessary. They're laughing now. You know, sometimes it feels good when you can score a basket like that.
And she's the veteran, you know? There's a pretty big gap of ages on the floor right now. So, you know, the veterans got to make sure that everyone knows that this is, you know, a place where they've been for longer than you.
Yes, and also you can't do that to me, girl.
Natalia, when you were young and you were on the Puerto Rico national team, how did you become, you know, how did you establish yourself? How did you find your ground?
I always knew I was going to be defending the better guard from the other team. So, you know, I knew every game was going to be very physical for me. So I saw a lot of those looks on me.
You were on the receiving end of those looks? Funes can't get that shot up in time. You gotta love it, because we've talked about this all week long, but Natalia, the young players that are playing with those veterans, they're never going to be the same player again.
They will not be the same players. This experience will make her, or it's making them grow, and it's making them learn the game. And also showing them what they have to do to get better in the future, what you have to do to be at that level. If I want to be in that level, what do I have to do? Work more and more on my physical shape, make my shots better, you know, things like that. Not only for the players, also the coaches and the federations. It's a learning experience.
El Salvador takes a timeout as the Virgin Islands see their biggest lead by 8 after that jumper by Imani Tate. So if you're El Salvador, what are you saying right now?
They are doing what they can on defense, maybe a little late, getting back during the transition, and that's something to get better, but the rebounding. But what can you do about that? They are just stronger and taller than you, and Virgin Island, everybody is crashing those boards. They're just more talented.
And you can hear Coach Santana expressing himself from across the court from our broadcast position. El Salvador obviously feels like they've won already by just getting to this point in the tournament and just arriving here, earning that 4th seed in the bid to be able to compete at the AmeriCup. As El Salvador team, though, believes that this is a winnable game.
It is a winnable, so it's a winnable game. They have to find a way to get back on defense during transitions and keep collapsing those, you know, the paint.
Villalobos to Funes, floater. An offensive charge called against the 5'7",
Second personal foul,
26-year-old.
number 14, Aida Funes.
That was nice.
Williams so smart, she waited for it. Knew she'd come. Tate, and then a high-low, beautiful finish by Anita George.
Need a bit of more communication that Salvador needs in that zone. That was a way to break that zone.
Villalobos on the other side, denied by George. You can't do what I can do.
Support Salvador. Entering number 9, Silvia Vega.
Vega is in.
Another look at that denial by George. Tevez again playing with a bruised knee. And can't miss. Tevez again from 3.
And it's, Virgin Island is switching every time with Tevez. Still, she finds her way to get that little bit of space and be effective.
Tevez 50% from the 3. Villalobos shaking Williams, love it. Day into George, that one gets into the wrong hands. Tevez, hot hand, squares up again. Tevez, 3 3-pointers here in the first half.
Just 13.
George calls for it. On the block again, up against Silva. Another shot opportunity, this time from Williams, and she makes the most of it.
Williams.
8 points, 4 rebounds are her average in this tournament. 62% for the free throw. And from the free throw line, she was shooting only 18%.
Now Salvador will keep working on that cut. Give and go Tevez, heat check. Oh. The glass didn't like her on that one. Natalie Day, lefty. And a foul against the Virgin Islands, no shot.
First personal foul, number 7, Katie. Salvador, 39, entering number 0,
And it looks like Imani Tate knocked out George, but regardless picks up that first foul.
For Salvador, entering number 7,
Open on the baseline, El Salvador misses.
Nice.
Put back good.
She had 5.
Aida Funes.
7.
Matthew will miss. Ball secured by El Salvador. Cubias running the floor. Tevez back out to Funes. Step backs. And Vasquez gets hacked.
Second personal foul number 13, Nadia Gumba. South for Virgin Island, entering number
She had the
12,
space to
Anisha
take the shot.
George.
And Gongba will go take a seat after that foul. The coach's daughter, of course. And an offensive foul against Funes, using that elbow and that shove to create some space right in front of us all.
And it was too obvious. The referee was right there.
14, Aida Funes.
Denied. Chews up about 10 seconds off the shot clock for the Virgin Islands. George on the cut again. Splits defenders. Ball goes out of bounds.
And it was George against 5 Salvadorians. Everybody collapsed on her.
Sophomore Salvador, entering number
Vasquez
3,
comes in for
Claudia
Funes.
Hernandez.
Barry with the left. And it's been a long possession for the Virgin Islands down here. George. The cleanup can't be complete by Williams. And an extra nudge on the way down. George and Tevez.
Tevez kind of elbowed George.
First personal foul number 12, Anisha George. South for Virgin Island, entering number 11, Natalie Day, and number 10, Lanisi Vo.
George tracking Tevez down.
I will think about twice by messing with George.
And George will go to the bench there. Looks like just her first personal foul. Turnover. Virgin Islands trying to build their lead. Williams, look from the wing, it's good. Back out to 10 for Virgin Islands.
And that's the first three-pointer of El Salvador in the game. 1 of 6. And El Salvador is looking like they lost their concentration. It's a mental game now for them.
Entering number 7, Imani Tedi. From El Salvador, entering number 22, Kimberly Villalobos.
Tired too.
This Virgin Islands team saw Brazil yesterday. They fell by 21. They had the day off previously. And everybody who sticks around gets tomorrow off. El Salvador had a tough Canadian team yesterday. Nice lay-in by Catherine Cubias, who's been quiet throughout this tournament. Came from a small town, earned a scholarship. Left alone was Tate.
And Virgin Islands continuing to dominate the rebounds in the game.
Villalobos with the pass. Jones 6 with it. The payoff comes. Another 2 for Jones.
You know, and the good things about this tournament, yesterday we spoke about when Brazil and Virgin Islands when playing against each other. Remember you asking me, what can Virgin Islands take from this game? and we're seeing it. Their game, their level went up. They are playing very strong, so El Salvador.
First, number 5,
He said you can only get better by playing against the best.
Software entering number 12, Anisha George.
George is back. Lanis is going to the bench.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, obviously COVID disrupted everything in this world, but yeah, a lot of these teams have not been together for very long, didn't get a lot of reps, so every single team here, all 10 of them, are so eager to play against somebody else, you know, instead of all their practices and scrimmages.
Yes.
And the universal goal, like you said, Natalia, they just have to get better every single day.
Yeah, and in case of this, you know, especially these two teams, not many of them play professional. You know, you can count with your hands the players that play professional from each team. Those, yes, they had some activity, but the rest, they didn't have any basketball for 2 years.
QBS? Short. Yeah, which is insane to think about. The amount of sacrifice that these players made to ensure they're in shape. I mean, listen, it's difficult as an adult to do anything without someone pressuring you. So, I mean, a lot of these are adults, women having to take the initiative, get their body right, their training right. Williams, that one's off. And we'll have a timeout called here.
Both of these teams are 0-3. In the case of Virgin Island, they lost against Colombia 60-72. They lost versus Canada 101-41. And yesterday they lost against Brazil 56-77. El Salvador, they lost against Brazil in their first game 118-43. They lost against Colombia 67-92. And yesterday they played in Canada and the game finished at 98-41. Both teams are looking for the first win of the tournament, and that win will give them the qualification to the quarterfinals. So it's a very important very important game for both teams.
For El Salvador, they've already made history by just getting to this tournament. They want to make sure that they're improving, they're representing their country as best they can, and they want to see development from every player, because it's not just this tournament. If you're looking at a big picture, Natalia, you can speak to this. This is how teams get better and are able to perform on the, you know, the international stage. It's one tournament at a time.
It's definitely one tournament at a time. And what was the question? I'm sorry.
This is just the beginning for El Salvador.
It is the beginning of El Salvador, the Espina, and you know, by them doing the Centro Basket, that's their federation saying, hey, we want to get better at women's basketball. They qualify for the first time to the AmeriCup, and they will be held in the Centro Americanos game on 2022. They still have time to better this team up and to compete and probably be in the podium in this competition.
George on the cut. This has worked all day long. George now leads the way with 9 points for the Virgin Islands. There's no answer yet. El Salvador will just continue to take it at you. Villalobos there.
It has been either Villalobos or Kimberly trying to push the train for this team. This America's tournament has, you know, it started celebrating on 1989. Either Virgin Island or El Salvador, Steve, have a medal, but they are on their way.
32 years of competition. Day with the weak side rebound. Villalobos will get her.
First,
Day today with 7 points, 8 rebounds. 4 of those offensive rebounds. From the free throw, she's 1 of 2.
And we can't speak enough to the testament of seeing Natalie Day here competing. 4 months ago, she gave birth to her baby. Her husband is here, the baby is here. But this woman has worked in her 2-a-days, her commitment to the national team, being a mom. She got married this past year, and Coach Gungba could not praise her enough, as she's an example, not only as a basketball player, but as a woman, showing her team that this can be done. We, as women, can do it all. It takes an army of support, right, Natalia?
It takes an army. You're seeing the whole, you know, the administration from the team helping her husband in the stands, and you know, and I know when they invited her, you know, to practices, probably the first thing on her mind was like, I'm going to that tournament, but yes, I need to bring my husband and I need to bring my baby because of the whole situation. And you know, they could have said no, but no, she's here with her whole family, and imagine having a new baby and have to play this tournament and having your baby back in Virgin Island. No, your mind will not, you know, be in the right place. So this is awesome.
And if you get a chance to check out our digital channels on Twitter and Instagram, our phenomenal all-female digital team did a behind-the-scenes story with Natalie Day and her newborn. Go check it out. Day from half court. She'll hit the backboard, but that will be it. After 2 quarters of play, it's her team, Natalie Day's squad, the Virgin Islands, that lead 42-28.
And Salvador, 28.
And for the Virgin Islands and El Salvador, this is a win or go home situation. It is day 5. Top 4 teams advance out of the group play onto the quarterfinals. And Natalia, you've said this all day long, it's rebounding.
39 rebounders and rebounds, and 21 of those are offensive rebounds that end up in 13 points, 7 points from the Virgin Island. They've just been more dominant in the paint. 32 points from the 42 points that Virgin Island have are in the paint, 32. Bench have been effective as well with 10 points.
And Barry's been fun to watch, a little spitfire off the bench. The young guard continuing to push things, but the veteran, Natalie Day, this has been her game so far.
Yeah, she's, I kind of, you know, sometimes you see players and you see their focus, they show like during the warm-up, and I'm sure these 2 teams, I'm sure they knew it was going to come to today, to this game. So the focus is different, the energy feels different, and she was just ready to go. She's been the go-to girl, for the go-to player for this Virgin Island and tournament. She knows she's not 100% yet, but she's not using that as an excuse. She's getting many minutes, many minutes.
And Villalobos, who is the leading scorer for El Salvador, only has a handful of points today. They are keeping her shut down for the most part. Yes, Villalobos with 6 points in almost 19 minutes of action. And something we're seeing differently today, Natalia, in Game 5. Virgin Islands has multiple folks that are able to score today. We're seeing Imani Tate, we're seeing Natalie Day, Anisha George. It didn't seem like that was all available early on in this tournament.
At the end of the day, it depends who you're playing against. You know, everything changed depending on the team you are playing against. Virgin Island play against Colombia, and it was a close game. They are from the same region, and Colombia have a little bit more talent there, but they are getting there, 60-72. That's how the game ended. But then they face teams like Canada and Brazil. It's a whole different level. Why it's good for them to play teams that dominate them for so many points? Because it's the only way to grow. It's the only way to grow. You have to go little by little. First, you want to dominate your area, and then after that, you keep moving. some people said, you know, why are you bringing that national team to the AmeriCup? They're going to blow. It's the only way they're going to grow. It's the only way they're going to know where are they and what they have to do to get better. We've seen it with Colombia. We've seen it with Puerto Rico, teams that it was hard for them at the beginning, but they are fighting here for that podium.
And it's day 5, and we have a fresh slate of the top 5 plays since the AmeriCup kicked off. I hope you guys enjoy this.
Nice fast break between Taira Melendez and Jackie Benitez. Florida, she's been a star since she was born. She has won every award possible.
Natalia's being a little exaggerative, but not by much, because I used to cover.
How perfect that pass was. Great assist by Fields.
Henderson to Jones.
Nice.
Jones.
Beautiful. Well, we have to stop it here. What an assist.
Carvalho behind the back, and Silva the lay-in. That was a look at the top 5 plays from yesterday's action here inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Really fun to see Brazil in transition, and the skill set shown off with the behind the pack pass there by Carvalho. All these teams, and especially the 2 on the court right now, when they get out in open court, you kind of hold your breath. You don't know what's going to happen next. But right now, we do know what's working for the Virgin Islands. And yes, that is Anisha George, the 23-year-old, leading the way with 11 points, 8 rebounds, just a couple shy from a double-double.
She's very effective there. It's very hard to defend her because she's not only standing on the post, she's constantly moving, cutting from the opposite side. She has good moves, and she's athletic, so El Salvador is really having trouble following her and trying to stop her. And this Virgin Island team knew from the beginning that she was their main weapon today to use.
And no one's been able to slow her down. She'll continue to cut to the basket and stand by for those weak side rebounds.
She's only been in the free throw one time. You would think, you know, with her playing the way she plays, she'd get a lot of contact. She does. She doesn't get that many fouls, but she's the only free throw she's has thrown today. She scored it.
For El Salvador, they are getting some work out of Emily Tevez, the 28-year-old forward who is working out here with an injured knee, a heavy bruised knee after her matchup with Canada yesterday, pouring in 13 points and 5 rebounds in 20 minutes.
And that's her main weapon, that step back that she does. It's lethal. She's limping there. She's hurt. That's what you're seeing. She's trying to create her offense without much contact from the three-point line, and, you know, trying to take care of herself because she seems in pain. She's still playing. Like some people will ask, well, but why if she's hurt, she's playing? Well, because she knows the importance of this game, and most of the players here knows that games like this, you have to play regardless.
That's right, Natalia. We got 20 more minutes of action on the way right now. It's the Virgin Islands leading 42, El Salvador 28. We'll be right back with the second half.
Women's AmeriCup 2021. Follow us on the social media at AmeriCup W and share your photos tonight using our hashtag AmeriCupW. Síguenos en las redes sociales, @AmeriCupW y comparte tus fotos esta noche usando nuestro hashtag AmeriCupW.
Welcome back inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. It is day number 5, the final day of group play. On the court in front of us is El Salvador and the Virgin Islands competing for the final spot in this Group A standings to advance on to the quarterfinals on Thursday. Both teams seeking their first win of the tournament, and the Virgin Islands with the 14-point lead that they built up after the first 2 quarters. Despina Barton here alongside Natalia Melendez, the former Puerto Rico national team player, in the booth with you this afternoon from San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's been a great week of action so far. El Salvador making their first ever appearance in this tournament. Proud to be here, proud to put on the El Salvadorian jersey and represent their country. They earned the final spot in the Central Basket Tournament back in March, the tournament that they hosted, to get an opportunity here to compete with the best teams in the Americas and the Caribbean nations. Meanwhile, the Virgin Islands, it's been a tough trip here, but this is by far their most complete performance so far in this tournament. So they're starting to click at the right time, Natalia.
Their score for them was 60 first game, 41, second one, third one. They were 56, so going 42 is good for them. I think it will be their best offensive game so far. This is a great test for them to see where they are, play against a team that is in their same area, in their same continent. Region, I mean, in the same region. You know what? This is something like to mention. Even though they are dominating this game, they have not been able to score, not even 1 point during fast break. That's how their Virgin Island offense have been. 13 points from the fast break.
Yunez behind the pick, gets a good look. Tate with the big take. Who's fighting for it? It's George. And this duo, they know each other so well, Amani Tate and Anisha George.
They've been together with this national team for a while now. They know how powerful they can be when they establish that two-woman game and visual communication. They read each other.
When I talked to Coach Gungba before the game, she said she was looking for a few things from her team. One was to keep playing together and keep the energy high. You know, she knows this. So she doesn't want them to get stressed out. They knew that they needed 3, get back in transition D, and then take their time and O. So those things are working well. But for El Salvador, who had a little bit extra time to prepare, we know these two teams met back in the Central Basket, and El Salvador lost by 12 then. That was back on Sunday, March 28th. But Natalia, you can remember back in March, that was just when some COVID restrictions were lifting. There wasn't a lot of time to work in practices. But since El Salvador got that bid to this tournament, they had practiced every single day. They missed one day. But think about it, all of April, all of May, halfway into June, this team from El Salvador has not taken a break.
They have to outwork everybody. They know they have a long way to go. And at their next, they had this tournament in their plans, but after this tournament, they will have 2 years to get ready for those Centro Americanos game. That's their next stop. And by doing this and by practicing and by focusing on what they have to do to get better, it will eventually work for them.
Villalobos, she's got 8 points for her team. That's a bobble. The effort, though, pays off.
See, the importance also of having players in your national team that are not only playing in your league, that are doing other things. Anisha George is playing in Slovenia, in Helios basket. Oh, that was a push there for Villalobos. Good defense.
Second personal foul, number 22, Kimberly Villalobos.
Her second personal foul. Day getting a push from Tevez. The defense stepping up here. Day wraps her elbow around Tevez. Holding her back, so that's going to be a foul against Day. Funes misses the pass to Villalobos.
It's turnover number 12.
El Salvador not able to score here in the first 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And an offensive call against George. Tevez there to take the contact.
Knowing that she's hurt, we're seeing, her limping. She's putting her body out there for the, for the good of the team. That speaks highly of her and her commitment to this team.
And Tevez went to the States for school, to Notre Dame, which is a very prestigious private university in the United States. You have to be very, very brilliant to get in. And, I mean, that speaks to her smarts on the court and away from the court.
Salvador is 3 of 6 from the free throw line.
That was the third personal foul by Anisha George. Tate with the beautiful take.
She attacked the middle of the paint. Nobody from El Salvador helped. Everybody was just defending in the perimeter.
Villalobos, pull up Jay on the elbow. It's off. The drought continues for El Salvador. Day one-on-one floater, she's hacked from behind.
First, personal foul number 24, Emily Davis. Sub for Virgin Island, interim number 8, Brittany Matthew.
Natalie, day before this tournament, she was playing in France, the match ABC, where she was averaging 10 points and 4 rebounds. The last AmeriCup, she played 13 points, 10 rebounds for her. She had a double-double as a percentage. But she also played for a few months in Cats, Finland, where she averaged 13 points and 6 rebounds. So she's been in some places around the world. You can tell the girl can play. It's glad to see her doing her thing here in San Juan.
Her team pushes out to a 21-point advantage. And you can feel the desperation from this El Salvadorian team, who has been scoreless here in the third quarter.
Remember, when you are not that tall and you are playing in the tournament like this, it's just a lot of bumping, a lot of physical work, and it gets to a point when, eventually you get tired. They look a little tired.
This is day 5, the final game for these two teams in group play.
Everybody here have played 4 games in 5 days, with the exception of Argentina. We all know the issue if you follow us through our social media. And Colombia, that was the team that, it was Colombia, the first team, the first game was, well, the next game that tonight that will be canceled, it's USA. USA will not be playing today against Argentina.
That was the finale, the 9 p.m. game, Natalia. Yes, that game will be canceled as Argentina had to forfeit 2 of its games, and they are officially disqualified from the tournament.
It's been really, really bad for Argentina lately. In the last Pan Am Games, somebody left their uniform. They brought the wrong uniform to the tournament, and it was the most important game for them to qualify. So they lost that game because they didn't have any uniform. Then after that, they came to the last AmeriCup. They had 3 injuries. They had to play with the bench because they didn't have enough, the starting lineup ready because they were injured. And now this, the COVID issue. So it's hard to stay motivated and everything, but if a team can do so, it's Argentina. So we wish them the best, and we're so sorry that they were not able to play, because we were all very excited to see them competing, because they were working really hard. They went to Miami to practice. They were doing their thing to have good representation here. COVID.
George, 2-on-1, gets it. George continues to tack on to her points.
She has 16 and 10 points, double-double. And she have 10 rebounds and 7. She have more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. She have 7 offensive, 3 defensive.
I mean, there's certainly more motivation on the offensive side, Natalia.
Oh, claro. Yes, of course. I'm going to go try to get this rebound. It will probably, become points for me. Yes. And I like how this team knew from the beginning what they have to do, who they have to use the most.
Number 13.
And stood with that plan. They didn't try to do anything out of the box. That's working? Okay, let's continue doing that.
At the free throw line is Veronica Sosa, the 30-year-old captain for El Salvador. She joined the team a couple months ago, has lots of experience. It was the former Colorado State, or she was a graduate of Colorado State. Corner shot, up and off, and it'll be tracked down by Jones. George calls for it, and then swooping in on the floor. El Salvador rips that out of George's hands. Shot up on the free throw line. No good for Funes. Virgin Islands reset. Vasquez slapping.
George received the ball. Tevez, Sosa, Vasquez, everybody.
Second personal foul, number 1.
3 whites around her. It's the only way to stop her today.
And George goes to the bench. As does Vasquez for El Salvador.
Jones.
Tevez, top of the key. Won't go. Gongba grabs the rebound. Loose ball. Yep, we will get a whistle for a jump ball. This will stay with the Virgin Islands.
Good defense there.
And a timeout we have on our hands. El Salvador taking its first of the half.
1849, the rebounds. Big difference there. 25 offensive rebounds for El Salvador. Points in the paint, 14. El Salvador, 40. Virgin Islands. And points from the bench. It's something we've seen throughout the tournament. El Salvador have, they have long rotations, but their offense is concentrated in their starting five, only 3 points from the bench, and these have been a constant, regardless who they play against. All of the points from El Salvador are mainly from the starters, and it's really hard to compete in this level when your bench is not part of the offense. Only 3 points. It's difficult.
On the other side, Anisha George, double recorded, and just 25 minutes of action. I mean, if we look at this, she got that in 17 minutes, 49 seconds, to be exact.
She knows how to bowl. She have the strength, she have the height. And usually, sometimes you have tall players and strong players that are that strong and tall. But when it comes to basketball skills, they're not that gifted. That's not the case of George. She knows the game. She knows how to use her body to get easy shots.
And these two teams have so much heart, passion. Those 50-50 balls, it's a contest every time. Bucket's good for Hernandez.
Her first two.
Tate gets taken advantage of. We're going the other way with El Salvador. Puna's there, unable to complete.
Nice pass. Oh, beautiful assist from Natalie Day.
Taylor Jones.
Villalobos catches them on the baseline as well. How difficult is it, Natalia, to compete essentially 4 games in the last 5 days for these teams in the caliber?
That's, you said the key word there with the caliber. You can play 4 games, but if the team is, it's like maybe not that good team or just a normal team, but here you're seeing the best of the best from the continent. And it's tough. It's really tough. Physically, it takes a toll on you, especially when you haven't got any win yet, and emotionally to stay focused on the fact that this tournament is not to win for you, it's to grow and to learn. That's one of the most difficult parts. We've been there. I was there with the Puerto Rican team. That's how it was. We could never beat Cuba. We knew we were going to get there, but mentally, it was very difficult. So I know what these girls are going through. It's a process. It's a learning process.
And this is the final day of pool play. Group A on the floor with you right now. El Salvador, U.S. Virgin Islands. Top 4 teams. And if this stands, it will be the Virgin Islands advancing on to the quarterfinals. They'll match up with some Group B opponents. And then from here on out, it's win or go home from the AmeriCup.
Third, personal foul on number 11.
She's very skilled. And Tevez today, she's 13 points, 7 rebounds. This is her first visit to the free throw line. And it's good.
.14 points for Tevez, who is who is playing with a bruised knee and a lot of pain. She took a hard fall yesterday against Canada. The team staff had her checked out by medical professionals at a nearby hospital. Virgin Islands keeps tacking on to their lead. Now up by 26.
And Natalie have a double-double. 13 and 14 today.
For the Virgin Islands, Natalia, how do they take today's performance and kind of move it forward? Tomorrow's a rest day. Does that throw a wrench into everything, or how do you take that as a player?
The what?
The rest day.
No, good. You just want to go to sleep without having a shoot around or well, they probably gonna have a shoot around. You know, you always do that, like for 45 minutes, to lose rhythm and to lose focus. Some teams like to practice. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, on your free day, usually some people go and do some sort of shoot around, nothing too physical. But first, you just wanna, in this tournament, it's mandatory. So, well, my team, I don't know, and I think the rest of the teams too, it's mandatory to go breakfast. And tomorrow they might can just say, you know what, I'm not having breakfast today. I want to go to sleep and I want to wake up late. And it's just a day to relax. I heard they are having some activities in the hotel. They're not going to be able to do some, tourism or walk around. The hotel that you guys are staying, it's walking distance from the ocean. And it's kind of tempting, but no, everybody's in a bubble, so they're just gonna have, to relax and watch movies and maybe order different food from a different restaurant. If you cannot go to the restaurant, bring the restaurant to yourself. So it's the days to recovery. That's to recover.
Tevez won't go. Yeah, normally a rest day, Natalia, you've told me in the past, everyone gets to go out, explore a little bit of the sights and scenes, and certainly Puerto Rico has a lot to offer to its visitors. Just unfortunately with the COVID circumstances and keeping the bubble intact, there will be definitely some restrictions.
Yeah, that was a day that you go to the players' Instagram and see them, and taking pictures in castles and at the oceans, and in different places from the country they're playing at. But we're not gonna see that.
Final 3 seconds of the third quarter. Shot gets up. Hard one delivered by Hernandez. After 3 quarters, the Virgin Islands are in front 62-34.
First quarter finish 16-19 Virgin Islands, second one 12-23 Virgin Islands, and in this third quarter El Salvador only scored 6 points, 6-20.
Yeah, they didn't score for a good chunk of time, about the first 5 minutes. The picture just becoming clearer and clearer as we move forward in this game. But what an effort by the Virgin Islands, by El Salvador, making their first appearance here in the AmeriCup. Confronted with some of the best teams in the world here.
Having the opportunity to, something that athletes also take out of this tournament is that agents are watching this. They can get contracts.
Didn't you tell me that you've heard some calls that happen and offers be made already?
Yeah, NCAA offers. And also, these professional teams, let's say, for example, Natalie, she plays in Europe. I bet you their coaches are watching. Well, let's see in which shape she's in. Let's see, if we can count on her again. They have to be really happy that she's active, and that's how it is with everybody. Everybody's, it's the owners of the professional teams that have players playing in this tournament. They are using this platform to see how their players are looking, and some that don't have any players playing in their teams are looking. If they need a point guard, they just, let me see if I can find one in that tournament. So this kind of tournament has always been used for that. Years and years ago, you used to see a full side of the stands full of people taking notes. But now, because of social media and you know, because you can see the players on TV and on video, you don't see them flying anymore. But it used to be everybody flying to the tournament to, how do you say that when you
To scout.
To scout on players.
And just looking over to our right shoulder, we see Ida Barnes, the assistant coach for Team USA in the stands. They know that they are ultimately going to face the winner of this team and their quarterfinal round, so that's why they're here. They are scouting these teams. And probably a bit of relief, too, with the cancellation of their late game today. USA has a little bit more time to prepare, a little bit more time to take care of any dings. Hernandez back to the top of the key. They'll work things over to Funes.
Good movement of the ball there in El Salvador. Great pass, better shot. She's 9.
Strong take by Matthew there, the 27-year-old with a handful of games of international experience.
Virgin Island just opened the court and let her play one-on-one. Give her the space to play one-on-one.
And number 11, Natalie Day.
Matthews, at the 27-year-old, played for Stephen University, Stephen Austin University. In the Centro Basket tournament, she averaged a 7.1 rebound, and she was at 38% from the three-point line. She was part of this AmeriCup, but it was on 2015, and now she's back.
A little break can do you some good. Refresh, recharge, reevaluate, and train your butt off to get back. I've always been fascinated at the level of these athletes and their capabilities of juggling life, work, practice, national team obligations, fun. Do they have fun? What does fun look like?
This is fun to them. They usually, you know, you can balance everything, but you're really not a normal person, in the meaning that, you know, you miss a lot of things. You gain this kind of experience that other people don't get to do, but you missed a lot of important activities with the family and that regular, let's go to the movies, seeing, you know, simple things. But they will have time to enjoy it. So they just decided to focus on the now and on their sports, and because believe me, they will miss it after it's gone.
Between the Central Basket Tournament and what you're seeing today between these two teams, how have they grown? How different are they than the teams they put on the court back in March?
When I saw them in Centro Basket, I knew. You're talking about Virgin Island?
Both.
Yeah. When I saw Virgin Island in the Centro Basket, I knew this was going to be a tough cookie. Maybe not here in the AmeriCup. I knew they were going to play well like they were doing. But Virgin Island was not a team that everybody expected to be in the podium in the Centro Basket. Now they have to count on them. This is a whole different team. And, you know, it used to be like, okay, we're playing Virgin Island, whatever. It's going to be an easy game. Not anymore. Not anymore. And El Salvador, it's going that way. It's going that way. And you know, hopefully they find one or two players that are playing maybe in the NCAA and they would like to join the team. Now everybody has players all around the world that they don't even know exist and are from their country, and that's something you can do. So for the Caribbean tournament, it's not the same. It used to be easy with El Salvador, easy with Virgin Island. That changed.
Obvious. We talk about separations, High, in all these games. It was the Virgin Islands that established that separation in the second quarter. The separation in score, and how difficult it is to make up points as you go.
And it's for El Salvador, you said? It's very difficult. Mentally, it's very difficult. Remember, they don't have a win yet. So they were expecting this game to be close, and they've been having really problems in both ends. One thing they cannot do is they cannot stop playing hard. That's when injuries come. And now and people don't say this that much. You have to keep playing hard, but also the mentality of some players in open games like this is, okay, I know I probably won't be winning this game. It's difficult. Let me look good. And you start playing for your numbers sometimes, trying to be, finish the tournament strong.
Funes and El Salvador will continue to push the tempo. Vasquez fed. Natalie Day, Tate is cutting, it's good. El Salvador again competing in their first ever AmeriCup. Good hands by Funes. That's been the story. They've been getting the opportunities, right, Natalia? They just...
The ball is not going in. That happened to Virgin Islands' first game here. They were getting one opportunity after opportunity, and they're, you just have some days, people, teams sometimes have those days that nothing goes in.
And Natalie Day continues to add on to her double-double. These rebounds. She's got 15 rebounds, 13 points for Natalie Day.
That was a layup for Tate, points 17 and 18. Natalie, it has been her game of the tournament so far.
Nina steps out. Game number 2. It's the Canadian team that is bound. Colombia. That will be the final Group A game. Canada has not dropped a game since they've gotten here to Puerto Rico. Colombia 2-1. And then rounding out the evening, game number 3, the Dominican Republic, who is seeking their first win of the tournament, will face Venezuela.
There's another rivalry between those two. And in the case of Brazil and Canada, the game is important because it's positions, who's going to be first and who's going to be second as you go.
Yes, of course, the better you do in the group phase, will set your seeding for the quarterfinal round.
That seeding, some teams just want to be in the top, but at the end of the day, you just want to be on those first four teams to be able to compete in those final four.
Salvador, entering number 5, Veronica Sosa.
Villalobos, turn and shoot. Just a horrible shooting day for El Salvador.
Nice. Nice shot for Richards.
22% from the field for El Salvador.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Funes swings it. Take on the baseline, unsuccessful by Cubias. Step and shoot, it's good. Taylor Jones. She's got 11. Her team up by 39 with 3.5 minutes left to play. Everybody gets a rest day tomorrow, even us, Natalia, after 5 days straight of pool play.
After today, we'll have 20 games in our ribs. It's a lot.
That is true. 20 games for the two of us. Not a traditional broadcast setup, but we are powering through. We love basketball. We're happy to be with you guys today and all week long as George pads her stat sheet with another block.
El Salvador, timeout.
Another look as Villalobos thought she had the lay-in. George, sneaky.
News, statistics, and highlights from today's game. Visit the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2021 official website.
31 rebounds for El Salvador, 68 for Virgin Islands. 26 of those are offensive rebounds. Fast break points, 11 to 11. Both teams have the same amount of points in the fast break. Points in the paint. Listen to this: 16 for Virgin Island, 16 for El Salvador. Virgin Island have 52 points in the paint, and the bench have been something that we've been talking about all throughout the tournament. Virgin Island have 18. That's very good. But in the case of El Salvador, even though the rotations are long, their offense comes from their starting five mainly. In this game, they only have 5 points from the bench. Turnovers, they're really close at 13 for Virgin Island, 14 for El Salvador, but there's a big difference in assist. Of course, it does have to be, have to do with the percentage both teams are shooting. In the case of Virgin Island, they have 21 assists. El Salvador only have 8.
Deep three from the bench. I want to say Funes hit one of those earlier this week. As George now, I think, is just getting some exercise. She likes running up and down.
Now it's when you start, relaxing a little bit, and you get to do those things, have a little fun.
And I think we got to remind everybody at home that because of the bubble, these teams don't get out very much. It's shoot around, it's game day, and it's dinner time. And when I say get out, I mean that's just to a conference room that's been assigned to them at a certain time. It's very rigid schedule, and the rest of the time you're in your hotel room. So I think we get an extra burst of energy whenever we see these teams play here inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum.
And
Natalia,
there's no only way to do a bubble if it's not like that. Every league is, most leagues are doing that around the world, and if you want to really see the importance of this, rigid system that it's done here, we have the case of Argentina. Of course, they had some COVID positive, but it's within their team. Nobody else from any other team have tested positive. Imagine if they would be all in the same place eating, it needs to be this strict, and we saw it during the NCAA tournament, during the NBA tournament before, not this season, the season before. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. We gotta hold a little bit more. Back soon, very soon, we'll be back to normal.
Yep, to the minute. I revisited that schedule just to see how intense it was, and from your FIBA staff to your teams for availability for pool access or gym time. Everybody has their time. Then in between, everything is cleaned, everything is fumigated. Yeah, FIBA's done a great job of keeping, those bubbles within the bubbles, right? So all your Virgin Islands team together in safe spaces, as well as all the staff and officials. I am a little upset, Natalia. I will tell you, the pool access time for FIBA staff is at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. 7 to 8 a.m. Yes, our producer here, Jaime, gave me an eye look. Yes, I'm sure we'll all want some fresh air too.
But the good thing, maybe at that time, you're not going to get into the pool, but there's a hot jacuzzi. What about that?
Taylor Jones.
Virgin Islands is playing free right now, having fun. Teammates on their feet. Cutter, good. Gongba.
And you know what? Virgin Island knew they had a chance to win this game, but I think they are probably pretty surprised that this game is so open.
Second personal foul, number 0, Natasha Barry. Sophomore, Virgin Island. Entering number 6, Shamara Francis.
Salvador still will finish this game, shooting 21% from the field goal. 1 out of 5 shots will go in, and that's been a hurdle. Loose ball picked up by Virgin Islands. Final 4 seconds. Barry will get up in time. No. Virgin Islands will hold the ball for the final whistle. They'll close the door on El Salvador and seal their bid to the quarterfinal. The final here, 85-44. A 41-point differential for the Virgin Islands, and that young woman right there, Natalie Day, it was her day to shine.
Total dominance in this game. There you see the percentages way too low for El Salvador, 22%, 21%. The three-point line way better, Virgin Island. The rebounds, 71 rebounds. That have to be a record in this tournament. I'm gonna find that out for you guys, but 71 records, that's out of this world. And then again, the top scorers of the game, Deves, 14, George, 22, Tate, 18, 3, and 3 in double figures.
And there was no answer for Anisha George with her cuts and presence down in the paint. So game day 5, Group A, this is how the current picture looks. Brazil, they're done, of course. Their lone loss was to Canada. So expect Canada to jump up to that top seed as rest of the play continues and becomes final here inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. We'll take you back through the best plays of the second half, and George was phenomenal. Her relentlessness to get rebounds and put it back up. Not only that, she was orchestrating on defense and making ways and lanes for her team. Listen, when a big calls for the ball, Natalia, like that.
You give it to her. Yes, you definitely give it to her. Because, see, on that play, El Salvador have 3 players defending her. She was just too much for them today.
So El Salvador will head home after making their first ever appearance in the FIBA AmeriCup games. But hanging their head up high, they competed, they grew, and they will go back and get better.
Some of them are going to go back to their universities. Some of them are going to go back to their country, to their league. And we're probably going to see all of them in the Centroamericanos game on 2022 that are going to be held there in El Salvador. And this is, Los Centroamericanos is a tournament, Despina, that it celebrates the games from the whole Centro-American area, not only basketball, every sport. All of the countries from the Caribbean compete in every sport, and they're going to be held in that.
So a mini Olympics is what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah, sort of. Regional games, that's what we call it, regional games. The South have their own.
Yep, and that's going to do it for us here on game day. First game is in the books. Virgin Islands moving on with a final score of 85-44 for Natalia Melendez. I'm Despina Barton. Much more FIBA Women's AmeriCup action is on the way. Next up, we will see Canada and Colombia. We'll see you soon.